Hey everyone, before we begin this video, I want you guys to head over to the Real Ninja Reviews podcast Twitch channel. There, you can see us play from Elder Ring to Call of Duty, and come over there and hang with us, chill out. We can sit there, talk about whatever you guys want to talk about, whether it be TV shows, movies, comic books, or even life stuff. Come on, hang out, and let's begin the video. All right, y'all. What's up? What's up, everybody? It's your boy right here, B New, aka Power Impact Comics. And this video, I want to be very specific. We're going to do a non-spoiler review. As y'all see on the background, it is the Robert Pattinson Batverse. We are getting into that because I have some things I want to discuss with y'all. But before we begin this video, I want you guys to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and also post a comment below. Let me know what you guys think about it and help your boys out. Get Real Ninja Reviews to 500 subscribers within 6 months, baby. But let's get into this non-spoiler review. I want to say that I was really surprised at this movie. And the reason why I was so surprised with this movie is because Robert Pattinson, I was a little iffy on if he can pull off being Batman. So for all those who don't know, I remember Robert Pattinson playing in Twilight, which those vampires were them crystallized vampires that they had that nobody who knew anything about vampire mythology ever considered those vampires. But because he played in Twilight, he's almost felt like typecast to be Edward from Twilight series. So seeing him play like a iconic character like Batman was a little iffy on it. It was like, is this guy, can he pull this off? But I want to give kudos to his acting. Smith Dog actually talked about how he felt that Robert Pattinson is going to do fine as Batman, be a great Batman. I was like, man, I don't know about this. And you can see it on the Real Ninja Reviews page. You can see some of the discussions before the movie came out. But yes, he did an incredible job with Batman. I am surprised. I liked his bat suit. I ain't gonna spoil too much about his bat suit, but his bat suit was pretty cool. The gadgets he had were pretty cool. And the thing about this movie, for people who want to know about this movie, is that it's year 2 of Batman being Batman. So it's not an origin story. So I want to make that clear, which is cool because every time they do a Batman movie, they always go back to his origin. But this is actually not an origin of Batman. So I was I like that. I like that they did year 2 of Batman in this. It's like year 2 of it. Okay, so the villain of the show, as we all know, is the Riddler. And what I'll say about him is that how they made this Riddler is a little different from all the comic book version of the Riddler. As you see, his mask look a little different, but he was an interesting character, and he was pretty cool too. Like I said, like honestly, I could say that this Riddler honestly may be one of the best versions of Riddlers that were ever created for a movie. And I think there's only been 2 or 3. I know Jim Carrey was Riddler at one point in, I think it's Batman Forever. I can't remember. It was a George Clooney Batman, I believe. But Jim Carrey was the Riddler, and that you couldn't take that serious. So if you compare this Riddler to that Riddler, this Riddler is pretty dope. He's incredibly interesting, and his riddles were pretty cool, and he kind of played somewhat off of the comic book version, but also not only the comic book version, he also played off of the Zodiac Killer. And I think that's where his costume in the movie was pretty much based off of is the Zodiac Killer. For those who don't know, the Zodiac Killer was a dude who shot everyone based off of their zodiac sign, and the original Zodiac Killer was never caught because they always had copycats, but the original was never caught. And I think that with how the Riddler looks in this movie, really was a play off of him, but off the Zodiac Killer. But other than that, the Riddler was pretty cool. I'm like, okay, Riddler does his thing. Now let's get into Catwoman. Catwoman costume sucked. Like, seriously, her costume 100% sucked. I didn't really like her costume like that. It's almost like they took a cat, like a regular hat, a beanie hat or something, cut out like the face of it, put some made it look like some earmuffs or something. I mean, not earmuffs, I'm sorry, ears. Made it look like some ears. And then after they made it look like some ears, just like, okay, here you go. This is your costume. Like, huh? Like, they could have done better with the costume. I just chalked it up that Catwoman didn't have any money, so that was the best she could do with her costume. That's how I chalked it up. But who knows what was the idea behind that? I will say that the casting choice, she wasn't bad. Let me say that. She actually was not a bad Catwoman. It's just that they should have kind of kept it comic book friendly. That's will be my critique of her character of Kravitz, who played her. Zoe Kravitz. God, I almost forgot her name. Zoe Kravitz, who played Selena Kyle Catwoman. Really interesting that she played Catwoman. I thought that she did a good job. Don't get me wrong. She actually did a pretty decent job as Catwoman. Well, I say she's the best. I don't know, but I will say she did a pretty good job with them. I just didn't like the casting choice because having an African American female as Catwoman is like, for comic book fans, it's just like, why? You could, if you wanted a black female character in the movie, you could have just made up an original character specifically for this movie if they wanted to. But other than that, her attitude, everything else actually felt like Selena Kyle from the comic books. So there's not too much gripe on that per se, just because, like I said, it's not truly a big deal. It's just like, why? And that goes for Jim Gordon too. I wasn't a fan of the casting choice of Jim Gordon. Like, again, I didn't understand it. It was like, why have African American Jim Gordon? Like, we didn't need to do that. But even as a character, I wasn't really feeling Jim Gordon like that. I was just like, because the reason why is because now when they do Batgirl, the Batgirl has to be an African American female in order, because it's just going to look weird if they introduce Batgirl or Barbara Gordon. They're going to have to make Barbara Gordon an African American female. Like, that's what they have to do at this point in the Matt Reeves Batverse, because it wouldn't make sense if they didn't. And they can get away. They probably could ease in a white version, but I doubt that they're going to do that because it'll look really weird. And like I said, wasn't a big fan of his character in this movie. Truthfully, I thought that they could do better than the actor and his character development. Like, he was okay in some scenes. He was pretty cool, but most scenes it was just like, man, Jim Gordon, we could have done without you, dog. We really could have done without you. I will say this though. I will say that I'm gonna move on from Jim Gordon because it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't much to say about his character. I didn't really like it too much. But the Penguin, Colin Farrell's character, the Penguin, really interesting. They must have did a lot of makeup for him because that was pretty interesting how they changed Colin Farrell to the Penguin. I didn't expect him to do that. And there were some scenes where he literally looked like he was walking like a penguin. I shouldn't say something. There was a scene in a movie that was interesting, I should say. I almost spoiled that. I mean, some of y'all may not even. When the spoiler come out, I'll say it. But it was really interesting, how they made him up and everything. He was pretty cool in this movie. I will say that Penguin, really, really cool. I like the Penguin in this movie, honestly, really, truly did. I liked how his character was, and you could see this is the early days of the Penguin, so it wasn't a lot of it wasn't the Penguin we are accustomed to seeing in the comic books yet. He's early stage Penguin, so that was pretty cool. I want to say that this movie, like I say, I'll give it 3 out of 4 do-rags. I really will give this movie 3 out of 4 do. I thought it was pretty cool. I enjoyed the plot of it. I actually enjoyed the plot. I enjoyed some of the characters. I enjoyed the villain that they chose. Like I said, they chose the Riddler and he pulled it off. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed Robert Pattinson playing Batman, Bruce Wayne. The cast and choice were Alfred, that's Claw from Black Panther. Thought that was a little weird, but whatever. Whatever. I don't know about Alfred. There's a lot of questionable moments in this movie. Like I said, Alfred was questionable. Jim Gordon was questionable. Falcone was cool. I think he was all right. I liked his character. The casting choice of Zoe Kravitz was a little questionable, but like I said, it is what it is. It's not a big deal. Y'all could check out on the podcast, and next week the spoiler review will be up, and we will talk about the spoiler review, and then I can get into in depth of some of the stuff that I want to get into, and I will catch you guys on the next. I was about to say stream, my bad, y'all. But I'll catch y'all on the next video. It's been your boy B New, aka Power Impact Comics. Peace out.